going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here with Jamal yet again.
Throwing us right into it.
Throwing us right into it. No ifs, ands, buts, or buts about it.
I don't care.
That's right, because we got 3 videos to shoot today, if we can. But yeah, guys, so we're bringing you another video today. We are adding more carbon to the M3. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, man, more carbon. But I feel like these carbon fiber pieces that I'm adding aren't too much, and they kind of tie together.
You're not paying for it.
But I feel like these carbon fiber pieces that I'm adding kind of tie together the interior and the exterior very well. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. These are the parts that we're going to be installing on the M3 today. These right here are the rear carbon fiber covers for the rear bumper. I'll show you guys what those look like when they get installed. But these are from F8X Freaks. Now, if you haven't heard about F8X Freaks, that's their label right there. That's what it looks like. They are a company that produces carbon fiber components for F80 M3s, M4s, and they are starting to produce carbon fiber components for the G chassis cars, 330s, 340s, and things like that. So give them a look on their website at f8xfreaks.com. I'll also link their website in the description down below for you guys. So we're going to be throwing on those, and we're also going to be throwing on carbon fiber paddle shifters. And we're going to be throwing on IND, from IND, we're going to be throwing on the carbon fiber roof antenna cover that goes right there, because the one that comes from factory is black, while the actual roof itself is made out of carbon fiber. So I think that'll tie that together really nice. But we're going to start out by installing all the carbon fiber pieces, as well as installing the red start stop button, the M1, M2 button, and something that's really neat is this gloss black ring that goes around the actual push start stop button as well. And I'll show you guys what all that looks like once we start installing it. But these are all the things that we will be putting on the F80 M3 today. And of course, we have all the tools here that are required to do all the jobs that we're going to be doing, and we'll go over those as well. But enough chit chat as Jamal records me while I'm recording. Let's go ahead and let's jump into the installs right now. Alright guys, so the first couple of things that we're going to install on the M3 right now is going to be the carbon fiber paddle shifters from F8X Freaks, as well as the red start stop button and the M1 and M2 buttons. Now, the first things you need to do before you start the install is you're going to want to come around to your trunk, you're going to want to pop it open, and you're going to come back here to where your battery is. Sorry, I don't have a light, it's kind of dark in the garage, but you're going to want to disconnect the positive and the negative cable. Once those are disconnected, then you're going to want to come around to the front. Now, the reason why you want to disconnect your positive and your negative cable on your battery is because to do these installs, you are going to have to remove your airbag. Now, to save time, I've already removed my airbag. As you can see, it's already popped out. But the way to remove it once you have disconnected your battery is right over here. There's going to be a little hole. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. But on this side and on the exact opposite sides, there are 2 holes. What you want to do is you want to take a pocket screwdriver or a flathead, stick it into those holes until you kind of feel the airbag itself pop out of place. Once it pops out of place on both sides, you can take your hand like this and remove the airbag from the steering wheel itself, and then it's going to look just like this on the inside. Now, to make this easier for you guys so you can see step by step what I will be doing today, I am going to be removing my entire steering wheel and putting it on the table so that I can do all the installs for the carbon fiber paddle shifters, as well as the M1 and M2 buttons right here. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the start stop button right here. Now, this one is relatively simple. For this, all you need is a plastic trim tool. So for instance, this right here. And once you take your plastic trim tool, you're going to wedge it in behind the actual push start stop button like this. Now, being that I do have the extended leather package on my F80 M3, if you guys have extended leather as well and you don't want to mess up your leather, I would recommend taking a rag, tying it around this point right here or something, wedging it in behind there, and then popping it out. Once it's popped out of place, it'll come out just like this. And then this is what you'll be looking at. So then you can see the connection that's right up top there. And I believe there's one on the bottom as well. You're going to pinch these 2 together, and you're going to pull it off just like that. So me and Jamal, we're going to move over to the table right now where we have all our components. I'm going to disassemble this and show you guys how it works. All right, guys. So once you followed those simple instructions in order to remove the actual start stop button, module itself, I guess you could call it, the whole component. Now you're going to take like a pocket head screwdriver or a micro screwdriver, and those tabs that I was telling you about that go all the way around, you're going to want to pop those up. Now each one that you pop up, you're going to want to gently lift up on the actual back piece itself in order to release the back piece from the front piece. So just like I'm doing, I'm gently lifting up on each tab, like so, and as you can see, it's slowly starting to pop its way out. There we go. So now this is the back end portion. Just gonna go ahead and set that to the side. Be very careful, you don't want anything dropping out of that. And now this big middle piece right here is the actual push start button that we're gonna be replacing, right? So now take your micro or pocket screwdriver, and there are these little tabs in here. I don't know how well you can see that, but you're gonna have to push those forward. Try to turn it like this. You're gonna have to push these little tabs down in here forward the best you can. Same thing on the other side. It can be a little tedious, but be patient. You don't want to rush this. You don't want to break anything. But yeah, you guys get the gist. So keep pushing these tabs forward until the button itself wants to come out. And then when the button actually does come out, it's going to fall out from the front. So once I figure this out, we'll be back with you guys after these short messages. All right, guys, so we finally got the old button out. I lied to you guys. If you can do it with one, you're better than me. But if you can get two of them, if you put them in there at the same time and you clip them and push them together and kind of at the same time push down, the old one will fall out. So when the old one's out, now you're gonna take your new one. That looks very good. And you're just gonna line it up with the holes that are already there. And you're just gonna push it in place till you hear it click. Just like that. So then once it's in there, you're gonna double check on the back portion. Make sure that everything's pushed down, the tabs are in. As you can see, the tabs on both sides, they are being held in place. So everything does look good. And now I did option to go with the gloss black ignition bezel. Now this is just an overlay. It just goes over the matte black one that comes from factory. So you're just gonna take a pocket screwdriver or something that's sharp, peel back your 3M just like that, and flip her over to the front. And then make sure that when you're putting it on, everything lines up. We only got one shot. Like Eminem said, do not miss your chance to blow. Too late, already did it. Already did it. And boom. Just like that, make sure you apply a decent amount of pressure. But how you saw us disassemble it is pretty much how you're gonna put it back together. So now you're gonna grab this. You're gonna make sure that everything lines up how it was. And then you're just gonna clip everything back together and make sure that everything goes on tight and properly. Like so. And then just gonna plug it back into the car. And that'll be the install for the red stop start button and the gloss ignition bezel for your F80 M3. Now we're gonna move on to the M1, M2, and the carbon fiber paddle shifters. All right, guys. So now that we have the red start stop button in with the gloss black ignition bezel on, back in the car, everything reconnected, this is what it looks like. And I do think that looks a lot better than how it comes OEM, in my personal opinion. So now what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna be removing the steering wheel in order to replace the M1, M2, and also the paddle shifters back here. So like I showed you guys in the beginning, I already have my steering wheel removed. When you do
airbag,
steering wheel, yeah, airbag.
You're tired already.
Yeah,
you're tired already.
Once the airbag has been removed, there's only one connector, right? So all you're gonna do is just pinch on this top portion up here, and then pull it out, and that'll be the airbag out. Then what you want to do is you want to take an impact, preferably a strong one, with a 16mm 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 16 socket, like so. And you have your 16mm bolt right here that holds the steering wheel to the steering column. So you're gonna take this, and we're gonna take her off. So now that we have this bolt removed, set that down here, put that over here, protect this. You're just gonna gently pull on the steering wheel until she comes out. Now, I already forgot a step, but there are 2 connections in here that you're just gonna pull on like this. And then like that. Once these 2 connections are done and that bolt has been removed, then you're gonna remove the steering wheel like this. So now we're gonna take the steering wheel over to the table and we're gonna start swapping stuff over little by little. All right guys, so now that we have the steering wheel out of the car and we have it on the table, now you're gonna wanna start taking things apart. Now before you start pulling and prying on things, there are gonna be some T20 screws that are gonna be on the inside that are gonna release this trim piece right here. Now the reason why I say don't start prying and pulling on things is because once you take out the T20s that are located here and on this side, get some light on that T20 there and another T20 a little bit closer in. You probably tell a little bit better on this side over there. But once you remove those 4 right there, there's also gonna be another T20 on the back of the steering wheel that also holds it, and that's gonna be right there. Now once all of those have been removed, this trim piece will come up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, also the reason why I'm removing the T20s on the inside of the steering wheel is to release the paddle shifters on the back, because I am gonna be doing, like I already said, the carbon fiber ones. So I'm gonna be removing those T20s as well. Now, if you're not installing any sort of aftermarket paddle shifter set on your steering wheel, you won't have to worry about removing that screw back there to drop the paddle shifters. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna remove all these bolts now, show you guys how it works, and then we'll move on to the next step after. All right guys, so once you've removed those 4 bolts that I was talking about, it's actually 5. It's gonna be 4 silver ones that look like this.
So, well, I'll cut Ben off. So if you notice, every single time we've started a new clip so far, when Ben started it, he's giggled a little bit, a smidge, and that's how you know he's having a good time. This is the first time he has not giggled the entire video.
That's very true.
Right.
Right.
Yup. And this is why. This junk looks like Megatron at the end of every single Transformers movie ever.
Very true. Yep, you got moved. But, so where we are now, guys, once you remove these 4 silver ones, right, and I'll show you kind of a little better, but once you remove them, the paddle itself will move itself out of the way, and I'll move this out of the way so that you can see. Once this paddle shifter is down, there's gonna be a screw right here. It's gonna be a black one. Once you remove that screw, then this side where the M1 and M2 buttons are will come off, as you see here. And then there are gonna be 3 little screws that hold it together on the back portion right here. Once you remove these 3 tiny little Phillips head screws, it's gonna look like how it looks right now, with the whole board all going on here and this, that, and the third. So
like Megatron.
Like Megatron. So then you're gonna take this little cover right here, you're gonna peel it back. Now these little white tabs might come with it, that's okay. If they don't, that's also okay. Then, at this point, what you're gonna do is, and my M1 already fell out because I went ahead and I made sure everything was okay. But these tabs that are located right here for the M2 button now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pocket screwdriver again, and you're just gonna gently lift up and kind of push it out of the way, like so. And just be patient with it, it will come out. But you're gonna kind of push on it and push down. Same thing with this side. And then they keep playing with each other back and forth, but all right, I'm gonna have to use 2. We're going into surgery. All right, with a little assistance.
You heard it. You heard it.
With a little assistance, I was able to get the M2 button out. That one was being a little more stubborn than the M1 button, but Now that both of them have been removed, you're gonna take this, make sure you put the M1 and the M2 where they're supposed to go. You don't wanna be that guy that pulls up to a car meet and they're swapped. Not that you could really swap them, but you never know, some people figure it out. So you're gonna take your M1 button, you're gonna line everything up, like so. I'm just gonna slide it in place till it clicks like that. And then once that's there, now you're gonna take your M2 button over here, same song and dance, line it up, make sure she's lined up, and push her into place. And then once those are in, now you're gonna take everything that you already did. This is how they should look on the back. You wanna make sure that the 2 tabs for both of them are securely on to the little tab points that are here. Once that's good, now you're gonna take everything that you took apart, you're gonna put it back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw all this back together, and then we're gonna hop over to the paddle shifters. All right guys, so now that the M1 and the M2 red buttons have been installed, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna flip the steering wheel over to the back side. Now once you're on the back side, this is when you're gonna be able to see your shifters right here. So now on this side, I've already taken it apart so you guys know what it looks like, what it needs to look like, and what you don't need to lose, if that makes sense. So this little spring that sits down on here, this needs to go back on to the actual, where it's actually at right now. So if I were to remove this spring, you can see this little holder for it. So you wanna make sure that you don't lose this spring. If you're not removing your steering wheel, the steering wheel is still on the car, this can drop, you can lose it. So just be careful when you are taking this off. Make sure that goes right back where it's supposed to go. Like that. And then on this side, I'm actually going to show you guys how this works. So there's going to be a little black pin that's going to be right here on this side. So you're going to take something that's super thin, super tiny like this, and you're going to push on the you're going to want to push from the small side to the bigger side and push that pin out like that. So then once the pin starts to come out like this, you're going to want to pull this pin out. Do not lose this pin because this pin is very important as well. Set that off to the side somewhere safe. And as you saw, once I removed it, this starts to come up just like this. And once that starts to come up, you're kind of just going to want to wiggle it out like so. Pull back like that. And then now this side looks like the side that I already have disassembled. Set that right back down there so we don't lose anything. And now I have both the plus and the minus paddle shifters removed. Next, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take your T20, this bad boy right here. Actually, I think it's smaller, I lied. It's probably a T15. Take your T15 and you're gonna wanna remove this bolt. Once this bolt has been removed, you're gonna take your new paddle shifters. This is going to slide out. You're gonna slide this one in, bolt it back down, and then you're gonna put everything back together. So I'm gonna go ahead right now, I'm gonna do that for you guys. And I'm going to show you how it looks when it's all done.
Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Here. Only the names have been changed.
Yeah, but that's where we are. I mean, I lost my train of thought, guys. That's where we are. They're on. They're extended. They look much better.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Definitely. Now, guys, when you're doing this, I ran into a couple of little things here and there that slowed me down, as you guys saw while I was doing it. Definitely would recommend having a helper if you can, because sometimes you just can't do it all by yourself. And then don't get discouraged. I do have the M-Performance steering wheel with the LED screen on it, so there are a couple wires in here that you guys might not see on your steering wheel if you don't have the M-Performance steering wheel. But don't let any of that discourage you. If you do have this steering wheel, just pretty much follow the steps that I showed you guys on how to remove everything and put everything back in, and you'll be good to go. But now we're gonna throw the steering wheel back in the car. Once the steering wheel's back in the car and everything's buttoned back up how it should be, you know, we'll do some B-roll of how everything looks while it's actually in the car. And we gotta wrap this up because it's dark outside and we got this big light on and there's a bunch of bugs, so let's get to it.
Have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Here. Only the names have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed.
Alright guys, so that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video.
Yo, this video took forever, I'm not even gonna lie. Even though we're really just documenting the things that we enjoy.
I did these things to the car because they're things that I wanted to do to the car. Not because of, you know, other people do them or other people think they look nice. It's because I think they look nice, so that's why I did it. Like I said in the beginning, you know, people always freak out when it comes to, you know, more carbon and things like that, but I feel like the carbon pieces that I added to the interior / exterior kind of wrap it all up. As you guys can see, you know, you see all with the B-roll and whatnot, but you know, that's what we're working with right there. That's from Auto Technic, from IND. So I think that looks pretty good. And then we have the F8X Freaks carbon components right here on the rear bumper that I think look really good as well, especially on white cars. I don't know, maybe it's just my preference, but I feel like those look really good on the white M's. Yeah, definitely the most noticeable, especially it being on the rear bumper. But I feel like it looks good with the carbon fiber in performance tips that are on the in performance exhaust.
Honestly, hopefully these videos do help, you know, help you guys. And we're gonna work on naming these videos appropriately for people who are searching for these type of things and they do need assistance in taking off their steering wheel with an F80, and you know, you don't want to take the car to BMW, but you still want to know a proper way how to do it, you know, without spending $400 or $500 for something. So hopefully these videos will save you guys time, effort, money, you know, in the process of us showing you the things that we do enjoy. Yeah. Well, like, comment, subscribe. We didn't say it yet this time in this video, but like, comment, subscribe for sure. If you guys want to see us do anything else, any other installs, any car reviews, any type of reviews, period, anything you guys want to see us do, just comment down below. Also, comment down below your favorite color M3, or honestly favorite color BMW. There's a whole bunch of individual crazy colors that I personally had no idea of until Ben crammed their names down my throat. Oh, this is individual this, individual that. So of the BMWs that you know of, comment down below your favorite color. And yeah, honestly, that's really it for me.
Yep, like Jamal said, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. We're all done here. Like we said, hope this helps you guys out. If you guys ever do these installs or you need to do something that involves something that we did or it's similar to what we did. So other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed.